Hi guys, so I started talking. I didn't realize that this thing was recording. My name is Okwemi Bakri and I own Pro Health Community Physiotherapy. Thank you so much to everyone who's engaged on our posts, sharing, liking, and to our clients who have trusted us to help them on their journey to recovery. God bless you. So welcome to my little secret hideout. I want to bring a lot of people are like, we don't know you, and okay, show yourself more. You need to bring yourself out more and things like that. So I thought, okay, why not let people get to know you through the things that you have done? And I thought I could start a series of storytelling, basically, of my experiences as a physiotherapist. Not so much the background, but I finished from Obafemi Awolowo University in November of 2008. Yeah, that was some years ago. But one of the stories I want to tell you about, and please know that whatever story I'm telling you today, at some point in time, I've obtained the consent of the other person or people in the story. So I'm not just bringing you something that is unethical, right? And also that I'm protecting the identities of the people in the story, unless otherwise they don't mind me mentioning their names. But usually it's just me that you didn't know in the story. So I'll start with, I can't really remember what year this was, but this was before I went for my master's in South Africa, and I finished that one in 2015. So this was around 2012, 2013, 2014, because 2012 I was in the Ogbomoso working at the Bowen University Hospital, which is another story entirely. Anyway, so I was to go see this elderly woman. She lived in VI in Lagos. She lived alone with the housekeeper or like a butler kind of service. Her children lived abroad outside Nigeria. So she had fallen in her home and had fractured her hip bone. I think it was the right hip. So she's had a surgery to replace the head of the femur, right? And now needed therapy, physiotherapy specifically to help her get working. She was doing some in the hospital before she was discharged, but then she asked to come home to continue her therapy, and that's where I came in. So this woman, I got the call, thought I go and everything, and I went. I mean, I'm always glad to go for home service, right? So I went there, and that there are some houses like that when you go for home service, they first screen you at the gates, which is fine. So your ID and things like that. I was screened, I was allowed to go in. And there's usually like a pattern that you would expect when you get to a client's house. So initially they'll put you in a waiting room or a waiting area. Then whoever is attending to you will go get the client or take you to the room that they've prepared for you to work with the client. So so it was different this time around because I'm like, okay, I was taken to the living room. Not so odd, but okay. And when I stepped into the living room, it was like I was transported back many years because there were like artifacts and lots of pictures. I could see pictures of a certain woman with the Pope. I could see pictures of a certain woman with like prominent people. I'm like, what is going on here, right? And of course, that would kind of give you an idea of the life this person lived. A picture speaks like 1,000 words, right? So I'm like, oh, this person is well traveled, very exposed, knowledgeable. It should be easy to work with this person, right? And then while I was thinking all this, I was mentally calculating, preparing myself, like, okay, well, your English has to be top notch because, I could see she also went to Queen's College many years ago. Anyway, so I get called in to go see the client, and she's lying in bed. So I introduced myself. Good morning, Mrs. XYZ. My name is Okwemi. At the time, it was Okwemi Otolori. But it's Okwemi Otolori. I'm your physiotherapist today. How are you doing? That was how I was waiting for a response. None came. This man just like shunned me. I was like, hold up. Did I say something wrong? Maybe. So I'm like calling to the housekeeper. Like, let's go. She's like, on your own, man. She literally just did like on your own while like you're your own. So I was like, okay. We always hear about that one difficult client, that one difficult patient, but I've never really had that one-to-one experience with a difficult client. So it was like a first time for me. I go in there and I'm trying to talk, and this woman, she's like, get out of here. Like, if she had said get out of here, I should have stopped there. I would have been okay. And they said, you're the one your children have called to come and kill me, eh? You're the one you're the one my children have called to come and kill me. I'm like, no, ma, they just called me to come and do physio for you. No, no, you people, they want to kill me and they want to share all my properties. They want to do everything. And you are the one that they want to use. No, I will not let you have your way. Guys, I was like, because it was like, oh my God. Anyway, I said, okay. I let her finish because when she's shouting, obviously there's nobody she's going to listen to me. So I let her finish and I'm like, okay, ma, it's not like that though. Nobody called me here to kill you. We all want what's best for you. You know, we all care about you. We want what's best for you. This is why I'm here. I want to help you to, I started speaking physiotherapy language, get better, do things that you normally like to do. You knew this man chased me out of her house. You guys. Anyways, I carried my load, my treatment bag and everything. I left. So when I go back to the clinic, I had to like send an email to the woman's daughter, who is the decision maker in this process, and I explained everything to her. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Mommy can be like that, but we needed to go back because we you need who to do what? We need you to go back, or we really, you came highly recommended to us. You need to go back. We need to... Okay. On her next appointment day, I would go. But honestly, I was looking forward to it because I was like, anyways, so the next time I went, there was no change. But the only difference was that this time around, the woman did not like shout at me. I could only talk to her through her window, the room window. So I would stand outside in the courtyard by her window and speak to her, just speaking. Fast forward like 3 or 4 appointments like that, I would go and she wouldn't let me in. So this fateful day, guys, I went there and I already stood by the window as usual, and then she's like, oh, come in. And I was like, is this today the pause? What am I watching? Anyway, so I went in and she's like, sit with me, you know. So I sat with her on her bed, and I see that she had shout out to those Nigerian secondary schools, like songs of praise, SOP. She had the SOP hymns and stuff, books like beside her bed. I think she was Anglican. Anyway, so I asked like what's her favorite song? And I think I told her, when I remember that time, was like, Hymn 4 for all things bright and beautiful. So we started singing together, right? And her session is usually supposed to be for an hour. So for like 30 minutes we'd sing hymns, and then she'd let me do like, you know, when you as a for therapy sessions for someone with a hip fracture like that, who hasn't been walking, who has been in bed for a long time, you want to start with like simple bed mobility exercise and strengthening exercises, you know, and also assess where she's at, and that would help you design your exercise programs. So that was how the first day went. The next time I went there, we'd sing for half an hour and then we'd do therapy. Each day, till we kept on with this, and I would always email the daughter like, this is the progress we're making, and she was so excited. Thank you so much, we knew you could do it. Like, Anyway, so um, eventually she was able to get out of bed and walk using a four-wheeled, no, a two-wheeled walker, right? So and then I walked her to the living room. She was so excited. She's like, oh, finally. And then, she's telling me about the pictures in the room. Remember I mentioned that I saw pictures of a woman with the Pope at the time, with prominence, the Queen, the past president of Nigeria, even Fela Anikulapo Kuti. And this is where it gets interesting. And then she's like, oh, Fela was my guy. Like, we used to roll around together. She told me lots of stories about Fela and also about her time at QC and everything. That's Queen's College. It was really rewarding to see her move around the house and gradually get better. We progressed from a two-wheel walker to using a cane, and she didn't want to do without the cane. She really just said, you know what, okay, this is how far I'm going to go. I don't want to walk without this cane. I need it. I like it. So I'm like, okay, cool. We can do that. I mean, considering how far we've come, this is perfect. And especially when a client or a patient expresses a fear to you, as a physiotherapist, it is your duty to listen to their fears, allay their fears. If all you've done doesn't seem to work, you need to just let them be, because if you try to push further, then you may help that fear come to pass, which for her was a fear of falling again, right? So she didn't want to fall again, and she just felt confident that having the cane with her would keep her balanced, steady. So that was where we ended the therapy session. So unfortunately, I don't know how this woman is doing. It's been so long. Um, so I hope she's doing well. I hope her children are doing okay. That brings me to the end of my storytelling today. I really, really hope that I'm able to bring you more stories, because trust me, I've got an arsenal of them. I've got an arsenal of them. So until I come your way again next time, don't forget, for all your physiotherapy, speech therapy, recreational therapy needs, Pro Health Community Physiotherapy, you can reach us on prohealth.ng. Just go to www.prohealth.ng, or Ijoma. Ijoma is available 24/7. Take your calls, SMSs on 08154 157 580. 08154 157 580. Or you can just send an email to opeyemi@prohealth.ng, opeyemi@prohealth.ng. Until I come your way again next time, it's your girl. Okay, bye for now. Bye.